All right, good. Lesson 3.3 is about finding the prime factorization of a number. The prime factorization. And so write this down. The formula for making a number is called the prime factorization. Okay? Look at a formula that we use in science. H2O. That means 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen. Those are elements, aren't they? On the element list. And when you put these together, they make water. So water is a compound, it's called, and compounds are made from elements, right? Well, we don't use the word compound, we use the word what instead for numbers? What word means compound? And what word means element? Not compound, but composite. This is a composite number. Composite numbers are made from what? Prime numbers. Prime numbers are the elements that go into a composite number. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do is we're going to find those prime numbers by doing what's called factoring. So what you'll be given a number like 165. When you see 165, you realize that's divisible by 5 right away, right? Or if you add the digits, it's also divisible by 3. Because 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 5 is 12. 12 is divisible by 3, so 165 is divisible by 3. If we divide 165 divided by 3, you'll get 55. 3 is a prime number, so 3 goes into that. But 55 is not. We have to keep going. We have to keep factoring. So, draw these lines and find the numbers that go into 55. 5 and 11 make 55. Now, are these two prime numbers? Yeah, 5 and 11 are both prime numbers, so we can stop. And you found all the prime numbers that go into 165. They're the ones on the outside. They're the ones that I highlighted. What would we get if we multiplied these together? Asa. 3 times 5 times 11. 165, right. You have 5 times 11 is 55. If we did that, multiplied that by 3, we get 165. So this, when we write this out, 3 times 5 times 11, you're writing the formula for making 165 using the prime numbers. That's called the prime factorization. The prime factorization. Let's look at some more examples in your book. Let's look at number... well, let's look at the first example, 180. Let's say that you're given the number 180. And it says, write the prime factorization. What are we finding? What do we need to find then? Sandy. The prime numbers. How are we going to do that? Here's the steps. Find a number that goes into 180. Any number. Pick a number. What do we know 180 is divisible by? Luke? 10. Let's start with 10. 10 times what is 180? Sam? 10 times 18. Are these prime numbers? No, we have to keep going, right? We can factor each of these. Asa? 9 and 20. No, each of these. 9 and what? 9 and 2 make 18. Are Are these both prime?
Yeah.
No, 9 is not prime, is it?
No.
What makes 9?
3 times 3.
3 and 3. What about 10? Is 10 prime?
No.
What do we use to make 10? 5 and 2. Are those prime? Yeah. So now we have all the prime numbers that go into 180. Notice something. There are 2 2s and 3 3s and a 5.
You mean 2 3s?
So when we write the formula,
Only 2 3s.
oh, 2 3s. Yep, sorry. So when we're writing the formula, we're going to have to write 2 times 2, right? How else could we write that without repeating the 2 times 2?
2 to the second power.
2 to the second power. When you're writing the prime factorization, whoa, let's try this again. When we're writing the prime factorization, you should be writing this down, by the way, so taking notes. When you're writing the prime factorization, start with the smallest prime number. The smallest prime number in the formula is 2. Then, write the power of the number that's used. Since there's 2 of these, the power is 2. Then, write the next biggest and how many there are. What's the next biggest? Class?
3.
3. So it's 2 squared times 3 squared, because there's 2 3's in the formula,
Times 5.
times
5.
5. And what does this equal if you were to multiply this out? Lily?
180.
180. Right. So you can check your formula if you want to. Always make sure that your formula only has prime numbers in it. This is called the prime factorization. So you can't have composite numbers in your prime factorization formula. Okay? So let's go back to our procedure. Find a number that goes into 180 and keep factoring. That's called factoring. Keep factoring until you have only what? What are we using here? Only what, Ava?
Prime number.
Prime numbers. Then, step 3. What do we do with the last thing? Write the formula using, what are these little numbers called? Sam? Using exponents. Using exponents. And check your formula mentally. Mentally check your formula. Make sure that it includes all of the prime numbers that you found. Okay? Any questions on that? All right, that's it for now. So, go to page